Hello friends, Jai Parshuram. Today we are going to see the basics of SAST, that is Static Application Security Testing. There are two things, one is SAST, another is DAST. SAST means white box testing of your code before compilation, before execution. And DAST on the other hand is when your application is running, then it will try to test your application. Rather, it will try to break into your application to find out security vulnerabilities. So those kind of tools are different. They are called as DAST, Dynamic Application Security Testing, which we are not going to see in this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see only SAST, that is Static Application Security Testing Tools. So as the name suggests, let me expand it. So as the name suggests, they are white box testing tools because the code is in the static form, and they are done before compilation and before execution. But there's a caveat to this. There are so many tools which actually work on bytecode also, which is half compiled code. And there are certain SAST tools which also work on the compiled code, but they try to analyze whatever is the code. So if your tool is analyzing either human readable code or byte code or a completely binary code, but if it is reading your code, then it is called as SAST tool. But if it is not reading the code at all, if it is doing black box testing, then it is called as DAST. Okay. Now, what kind of vulnerabilities are visible to SAST tools? So first one is injection flaws, which are SQL injection, command injection, or cross-site scripting. So I'll give an example. SQL injection means what? Let us say you have a website, and on that website there is a text box. In that text box, if the hacker gives SQL query, even if it is a get query, and he is able to get the users of your website along with their passwords or whatever, then this is hacking, right? So that kind of a hacking is called as SQL injection. So the hacker has injected SQL code into your web form. So that is called as SQL injection. Another is cross-site scripting. So let us say hacker has a hacking kind of a website which looks like IRCTC, which is used for booking railway tickets in India. Okay, so hacker will create a similar kind of a website. Now IRCTC is a difficult name to remember, so maybe he can do IRSCT, something of that sort, and people may get confused. People can land up on the wrong website. It will look exactly like this website, and then it can use the resources of actual IRCTC website. Okay, so a wrong website accessing the resources of the correct website is called as cross-site scripting. Means the hacker is scripting from their website onto a real website, okay, and accessing their resources. So that is called as cross-site scripting. Okay, and that kind of flaws are called as injection flaws. I'll go very quickly now. Buffer overflows. So nowadays it doesn't happen. Memory, when I started my career 17 years ago in 2008, at that time C++ was also a big thing. In C++ we had pointers and all those kind of things, and we used to regulate how the memory has to be allocated. Nowadays no one does it because there are frameworks for memory allocation and everything, and we always code on top of those frameworks. We code only for the business logic. So nowadays no one does it, but back in those days this was a huge thing, that buffer used to overflow, your RAM used to overflow, Stack Overflow is a website also as you know. That kind of vulnerabilities can also be checked by these tools. Third type is insecure coding practices. Like let us say in our days we used to save the tokens, authentication tokens or passwords in config files. So that was a very bad practice, but we used to do that in those days. So that would be highlighted by this kind of tools, and it will say that, see, you should not be doing it. You should ideally be saving your credentials or your authentication tokens in Jenkins or whichever kind of CI/CD pipeline that you have. So there in Jenkins credentials you should be having these tokens. You should not be having it anywhere in your code, not even in the config files. Okay, so SAST tools will remind you if you do that. Then broken access control. So every website has two things, authentication and authorization. So authentication means know who the user is. Okay, so when you log in, you are authenticated. And then authorization means when you visit various pages of your website, then for every page you have to be authorized first. Means if you are an admin user, you can visit any page, means you are authorized to see any page. But if you are a normal user, then you won't be able to see settings page, let us say. Okay, so you are not authorized to see that page. So on every page, whenever you go to any URL, first of all, as per the authentication, as per your user token, authorization should happen, that are you authorized to visit that page. And even on that page also there might be various small things which, or maybe some services, microservices. Every microservice has to be authorized. If you are not doing this, then SAST tool is going to run behind you. Okay. Then improper input validation. So it is a very good practice that whatever input comes from the user, you always consider it to be a hacker's input. Okay, so always sanitize that input first. Another thing is you should have a lot of checks about your input. Like let us say there is a user form. In the user form, every field should have some restrictions. Like let us say name cannot be more than 15 characters. Okay, min max has to be there, cannot be lesser than 2 characters. Okay, then a telephone number, it has to be a number. If it is a mobile number, it has to be 10 characters, 10 letters. So that kind of or 10 digits rather. So all these things are called as input validation. So if you haven't done any input validations on a user facing form, then SAST tool is going to tell you about it. Okay, so these are the kind of things. So all these vulnerabilities, or that kind of vulnerabilities, that even your team lead or your peer developer can also tell you. So whosoever looks at your code can tell you these vulnerabilities. And here also it is white box testing. These tools are only looking at your code and guessing where you went wrong. Okay, and of course, what are they telling? They are telling you security vulnerabilities, and that is why it is security testing. Okay, next. So what I mean to say over here is, although you have buffer overflows, it is not going to focus too much upon stack overflow or that kind of memory mismanagement. Main thing that it will really focus upon is security. Okay, so don't expect too much from these tools. In addition to these tools also, you should have really good coding guidelines to ensure that memory does not overflow. You should not have loop within a loop within a loop. Hierarchical loops should be avoided. That kind of things still you have to manage on your own. Okay, SAST tool, don't rely too much on them except for security. Okay, chalo, now next, what are the common examples? So ESLint, SonarQube, Checkmarx, these tools are the most popular even today. And when I started my career in 2008, 17 years ago, then also these tools were only being used. The only thing that has changed is, previously they were static tools. They had to be installed on the developer's machine. They were Java, all of them are Java based tools. This ESLint, I'll leave that, but SonarQube and Checkmarx, these are Java based tools. So what version of JRE is there? As per that version of Checkmarx can get installed. Then you have to install it for every developer machine separately. So you had maybe a Word file given along with all the steps, that this is how you install Checkmarx, this is how you install SonarQube. So that was the trouble of my days. Then later, when Jenkins became popular, because it was open source also and it was free for everybody, so Jenkins became popular. So people tried to integrate these tools into Jenkins, okay, CI/CD, and that is where life transformed for all of us. Now these tools basically operate from the cloud. On developer's machine, there is literally nothing. There is only one file, let us say like eslint.config.js. So that is a file which will tell you which rules to apply, which rules not to apply. Only that thing is there on a developer's machine or in your Git repo. Okay, everything else is either in Jenkins or it is running in their own individual website. Like SonarQube has sonarcube.io website, Checkmarx has checkmarx1.com or something of that sort. So everything is actually running on their own website. We don't have to take care of anything. So we don't have to have a client on our machine or do anything. We don't require anything to be done. We need scanner, and that scanner also has to be installed on Jenkins pipeline only. On developer's machine, literally you don't have anything except one config file which will just tell you that which rules to apply and which rules not to apply. Got the idea? Okay. Now we will go through them one by one. So ESLint, I'm starting with ESLint because it is the easiest to implement. Okay, and which tools to use for what projects? So SonarQube is a must for everyone. Use SonarQube. Okay, whether it is a Java project or a .NET project or a JavaScript based project like Angular JS or Angular 2 plus whatever. So if you have Angular 19, and also for React projects, React Native also. So all those projects, for every kind of a project you require SonarQube. Now Checkmarx is a costly affair because Checkmarx, the minimum fees that you have to pay is 30 grand per year, 30,000 US dollars per year. So only if your customer is really wealthy, then go for Checkmarx. Otherwise, just go for SonarQube. That is more than sufficient. You are not losing anything. Now what is ESLint? ESLint is only applicable for JavaScript related projects like Angular projects, Ionic Angular maybe, or React projects, Ionic React projects, that kind of projects. So any project having JavaScript or TypeScript, they require ESLint. Okay, so let's go ahead. ESLint, if you are using an Angular project, let us say, then ng add, you just give this command. So what it will do is it will add a few things to angular.json file, and it will create a new file which is eslint.config.js. So in Angular .json, what it has is it tells you that which all files should be linted, means which all files should be analyzed by this tool. That is regular expression you can say is given for those files. So that is given in angular.json. And in eslint.config.js, what you have is this rules, which rules to apply and which rules not to apply. So when you run it, how do you run it? You just say ng-lint. So this will run it in the console, and it is analyzing every file. For every file, it is going to say that, see, on so and so line number, on so and so column number, row number, column number, you have this error. So what is the error? Type boolean trivially inferred from a boolean literal. So remove the type annotation. So basically you should not be writing boolean name is manager equal to true. So that boolean is not required. You should just write is manager equal to true. Simple. So that is a kind of rule. Now let us say that your coding guidelines in your project says that okay, you have to explicitly give all the types. Then this rule has to be disabled in your case. So how do you do that? You go to eslint.config.js and there you will be able to disable it. Okay. Now how to fix all these rules? Like these are very simple things, right? Removing boolean, bool word has to be removed. This is very easy, and it might be there at 100 places. So do you want to go to 100 places and change it? No. You just run this command ng-lint -- fix. It will automatically fix all those simple things which might be there at 100 other places. Okay, but it won't fix everything. If it is a difficult thing, then it won't fix it. But if it is a very simple thing like this example, it is definitely going to fix it. Okay. Now, how do you turn a certain rule off? So go to that eslint.config.js file. Here all the rules are mentioned like this. For example, this is one rule, this is another rule. So if a rule has to be applied, then you give this square brackets and you give all the other details. If you don't want it to be applied in the square brackets within quotes, just say off. So that won't be applied. If you want the vulnerabilities highlighted by this rule to be highlighted as errors, then you just write here error. If you want them to be highlighted as warnings, then just write here WARN warn. Okay, so this is very simple. Now now how do you integrate this with Jenkins? So for Jenkins, you will still require all these juggleries that you did so far. Okay, But in addition to this, for Jenkins, you will just be adding a stage like this saying ESLint, and in the stage the step will have sh, means it's a shell script which is getting followed, and here the shell script is npm run lint. What is npm run lint? So let me show it to you in the code. This is my package.json file. Here when you add that command, that ng add @angular whatever that command was, so when you run this command, Angular ESLint schematics, so when you do this, then in the package.json this command gets created, lint command. Okay, and what it basically says is nglint. Okay, it's the same command. So when you run it, you have to, so in the Jenkins file what you write is, in the Jenkins file you write npm run lint. So you are asking npm to run this script, and this script internally says nglint. So basically you are just doing nglint. Okay, so this is how you add that step into your Jenkins pipeline. That's it. ESLint is very simple. Once you run this pipeline, suppose there are some security vulnerabilities, then it will give the same kind of an output in the console out of that step, of that stage. Okay, so here the stage is ESLint. So in the console out you get that same output that you got by running nglint on your local machine. Same thing you will get on Jenkins. Okay, simple. This is the simplest thing. It will boost your confidence. Try to integrate this one first. Second is Checkmarx. Now I'll tell you, Checkmarx is extremely costly, as I've given you here. So I'll ask you to skip this tool entirely. Don't use it. But if you still have a very wealthy client, and if they encourage you to use Checkmarx, then here are the steps. So first of all, you have to go to Jenkins. You have to install the plugin called as Checkmarx 1. All the execution will always happen on Checkmarx 1 server. Okay, so you need a communication channel between Jenkins and Checkmarx 1. So this is that plugin. Okay, so this is mostly for authenticating and all. Then for authentication it will require a credential also. So go to Jenkins credentials and you add the credentials, that is the token which you will get from this website, that is Checkmarx 1 website. Okay, then one tool also you will require. So whenever any SAST tool has to run, so that tool has to be added to Jenkins, like a scanner has to be added to Jenkins. So that you will be adding over here. So here that scanner is called as in SonarQube it is called as a scanner. Here it is called as Checkmarx 1 CLI. So it is CLI in this case. Okay, so that tool you have to add. Then this is already there on your machine. Package log.json is already there. Package log only whatever. This is not very important. Leave it. This step is more important. In Jenkins file, what will you do? You will add a stage like this. So copy and paste the whole thing. Nothing changes. The only thing that you should change is what is your project name and what is the branch name. Okay. Rest everything you can just copy and paste as it is. Okay. So this is how you do it. Now SonarQube, I'll show this in practical for SonarQube, because this is the tool that I want all of you to install, because this is free and it is subscribable also, but there's no need to take that subscription, because even with free package also it allows you to run it for one branch, which is enough for you. But if you have a client, then of course buy a subscription model. Even subscription model is pretty much affordable, not like Checkmarx. Checkmarx is very costly. SonarQube is very affordable. Okay. Now here what do you do? Secret handshake means authentication. So for authentication, what do you do? I'll show all this to you in practical also. So generating the token. So going to SonarQube Cloud, generating the token and everything, and then adding that token in Jenkins credentials. So let us see this step. First of all, so first of all, when you go to SonarQube Cloud, let me do one thing. Let me show you the URL also, so that you don't get confused. SonarCloud.io. when you go to this, first of all it will ask you to log in. So log in using GitHub credentials. So this is my pro tip. Once you do that, it automatically can see all your repos. So whichever project you make, so when you make a project, it is for a certain repository in GitHub. Okay, so first thing it gets it is your name and everything, and it also gets all the repos. When you create a project, it should be per repo you create only one project. Okay, now when this is created, then after that you go to project information. You first thing you should do is check analysis method. You should turn this off. So what this does is, whenever you commit anything to the master branch of your repo, which is shirasao.com in my case, then it automatically runs an analysis. You should turn this off if you are planning to integrate this with Jenkins or any other CI/CD pipeline, because then the CI/CD pipeline, when it executes, it will give you an exception. It will say that, see, you are automatically analyzing it anyways. Do you want Jenkins also to trigger an analysis? It should not happen, right? It should analysis only once, right? It should analyze it only once, not multiple times. So if you are using a Jenkins pipeline or any other CI/CD pipeline, and if you have a stage for SonarQube, then you should first of all turn this off. Automatic analysis should be turned off. Okay, first thing. Second thing you should do is you go to security. So for security, you will go to your manage account. Here you will go to security, and here you will generate a token. So you just give any name to the token, let us say token 1, and click the generate token button. This is your token. You can copy this, okay, and you will be using it in Jenkins. I'll show you that, but here at the moment I'll show you that you can also delete that token if you want. So I'm revoking this because I don't require it. So whatever we copied, where to copy it? Now go to your Jenkins first. So this is my Jenkins. I log in. Now you go to whichever pipeline it is. In that pipeline, sorry, not to pipeline. You go to manage Jenkins, means this settings icon. You go here. Here you go to credentials, you see them here. Okay, now here there is no add credential button explicitly given. You have to go to a domain first. So domain is global domain, let us say. You click here, you go to the global domain. Here you will see this is a global credentials. Here you can add credential to the domain. So credentials never get added directly to Jenkins, they get added to a certain domain. It can be global domain also, but it has to be a domain. So first go to the domain, then add the credential. So when you add credentials, select here secret text. Then you give a good name over here, let us say in ID you will be giving the name SonarQube, whatever name you want to give, token, okay, but remember this name, okay. Just copy this, and whatever token you had copied now, that you have to paste over here, okay, that's it. And then description is optional, don't give it. Say create. So this will be your credential. Okay, so we have completed this first step. Okay, we have completed this first step. Phase 1 we have completed. Now phase 2, install plugin. So you go to Jenkins plugins, available plugins, and SonarQube scanner. Let me show that to you. So you go here again to manage Jenkins, you go, and here you will be having plugins, and I have already installed it, so I'll show you in available plugins. It is Sonar Quality Gates. Wait a minute. I have given you the name of the plugin also. It should be SonarQube Scanner. Oh yeah, it is SonarQube. Wait a minute. I'll do one thing. I'll go for install plugins. Yeah, my bad. SonarQube scanner for Jenkins. This is the complete name. Okay. So you just search by SonarQube scanner, you'll get it. Okay, done. After that, you have to install server and now a server and tool. So define the server. So again, manage Jenkins system. You define SonarQube server. SonarQube server means where will the SonarQube analysis take place. It always takes place on the cloud, as I told you. So the cloud is sonarcloud.io. Okay, and scanner. So which is the tool, scanning tool? Do you have it? So this is that tool. Okay. So for tool, you obviously go to Jenkins tools, and for server you go to Jenkins system. Okay, let me show that to you. Okay, so you again go to manage Jenkins, you go to system. Here you just scroll down a little, you will be able to see Sonar word. So SonarQube servers. Here automatically this will be there. If you still don't have it, then use this button, it will create this thing. Okay, this panel will get created. Name, server URL, server authentication token, this thing will get created. Name, whatever you give here, you remember that name because you will be giving it in the Jenkins file. This is common for you also because this is actually the website of SonarQube. So it will be the same for you. And this is the same token which we just created. In phase 1, whatever we created, same thing we are using in phase 3 here. Okay. Chalo. So once this is done, you just save it. So your server has been added in Jenkins system. Then again, go to manage Jenkins, you go to tools. And here you should be adding the scanner, Jenkins scanner. So scroll down, you will be able to see two things about Sonar. Sonar scanner for MS Build installations and Sonar scanner installations. So always go for Sonar scanner installations, the second one. Okay, when you expand it, you will be able to see that you can add SonarQube scanner, but even if you don't add, by default the first one is always there. So here you give some name. Again, this name you should remember, you will be using it in Jenkins file. Then install automatically should be checked, and if you have to install it automatically, then which version do you want to install? So this drop down is also pre-populated, you just select the latest one. Okay, that's it. Just hit the save button. That's it. Now whatever we did so far, where will we save it? So in the Jenkins file. So in the Jenkins file, what we are going to do is, in the tools, you have to give the SonarQube scanner name. So everything else you copy as it is, but this thing you put whatever name you gave for your SonarQube scanner, which we added to Jenkins, manage Jenkins tools. Okay, and the server that we added to manage Jenkins server, so that name is given over here. I'm new to this Apple thing, you know, I keep clicking it by mistake. So this thing, remember it. So this is how it is. So just remember these two names. Rest everything you can copy it as it is. So here tools, in tools you have to add this line, and in stages you have to add one stage for analysis, another stage for quality gate. Quality gate means it is just, it waits for the Sonar Cloud to finish everything. So when a connection is established, now it waits for that connection to break first, and then you should proceed. Okay, so that is quality gate. It's just waiting for 5 minutes maximum. It won't take 5 minutes. As soon as the connection is broken, it goes next. Okay, but at max it will wait for 5 minutes. You can obviously reduce this to 1 minute also, whatever you want. Okay, now where all should you change? First of all, change here, then change the project key and organization. Okay, that's it. Rest everything stays the same. Even exclusions stay the same. So here I am saying that do not analyze node modules. Obviously you should not analyze node modules, right? So everything is exactly the same. Copy and paste this code. You will be able to copy it, and this complete study material you will always get in the video description. Okay, it's in the PDF format, but you can copy all these things from the PDF also. And this watermark won't stop you from copying. Don't worry about it. I've taken care of it. So that is it. In the next lecture, we'll see what is DAST, that is dynamic applications security testing. We'll see that later. Okay. Do let me know if you still have any doubts. There is comment section open for you. And as I always say, please oppose BJP for bringing UGC regulations. Don't let our sons and daughters be divided on caste lines. Don't let BJP, Sangha, RSS divide our population. Stay united. Keep India strong. Until next time, Jai Parshuram. दोस्तों, आप में से कई सारे लोग मुझे कहते हैं कि आपके सभी वीडियोस आजकल अंग्रेज़ी में क्यों आ रहे हैं। मैं आपको इसका कारण बताता हूँ। देखिए, आप मेरी वीडियोस को अंग्रेज़ी से किसी भी भाषा में ट्रांसलेट कर सकते हो, यानी उसका अनुवाद कर सकते हो। तो कैसे करना है? आपको सेटिंग्स में जाना है, यहाँ पे ऑडियो ट्रैक्स में जाइए, और अगर आप हिंदी भाषी हैं तो आप ज़रूर हिंदी सिलेक्ट कर लीजिए। तो देखिए, यही अंग्रेज़ी में जो बोलने वाला वीडियो है, यह आपको हिंदी में बोलने लगेगा। इसके अलावा मेरा यह आग्रह रहेगा कि आप मेरे वेबसाइट shirasao.com को ज़रूर विज़िट दें। यहाँ पे आपको यूटिलिटी ऐप्स मिलेंगे जो रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी में आपके काम आएंगे। कुछ लर्निंग ऐप्स मिलेंगे जिससे आप सीख सकते हो, अगर आप स्कूल में हो या कोडर हो या आप मैनेजमेंट पर्सन हो, यानी मेरे जैसे मैनेजर हो। सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए कुछ गेम्स भी दिए गए हैं। क्विज़ेस तो काफ़ी अच्छी हैं। मेरा पर्सनल आग्रह रहेगा कि आप ज़रूर कोई क्विज़ देकर देखें। और अबाउट मी में मेरा रेज्यूमे, ऑफकोर्स संक्षेप में यहाँ पे मैं अपने कंपनियों का नाम नहीं बता रहा हूँ, बट बाकी सारी जानकारी मेरे बारे में आप जान सकते हो। और ये तो फिर इसी यूट्यूब वीडियो का लिंक है, तो मैंने इस वेबसाइट के ऊपर भी दे दिया है। मुझे ज़रूर बताइए कमेंट सेक्शन में अगर आप इस वेबसाइट में कोई इम्प्रूवमेंट चाहते हो, और इसके आगे भी और ऐप्स इसमें जुड़ते चले जाएंगे। Until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram.